Okay, guys, it is time. It is time to engage in the 7 deadly sins of YouTube, not the anime show. I got through the first season, wasn't impressed, by the way. Sorry, anime nerds, but you know how I can't take that much of just like I really can't handle that much filler. So sorry. Let's get going.
Deadly sins.
Whoa, that's loud.
Greed, lust, envy, pride, gluttony, wrath, and sloth.
Whoa.
There are 7 YouTubers in particular that perfectly exemplify these 7 deadly sins, starting with greed. Greed is thought of as the uncontrolled longing for something when someone has to sacrifice something important to get it. Jake Tran is the perfect candidate for this sin.
Right.
While Jake definitely seems to be enjoying
I have no idea who Jake Tren is, but he doesn't look like he's taking any trend.
his life with expensive watches and fancy vacations, what did he sacrifice to get there? Well, that would be his video quality. There was a point in time when Jake was producing some of the best documentary content on YouTube, and his channel would
Hey, thank you so much for the large guts, Sussy Nut.
explode because of it. But Jake sees himself as a capitalist, so he needed to optimize his machine. At first, this optimization would
All I'm getting out of this is that capitalism is bad. What are you doing? We're supposed. This is crazy. All right. What are you, a communist? Jesus Christ.
start out small and barely noticeable. However, it wouldn't be long until this machine was so optimized it would lose the soul that everyone loved in the first place. Completely outsource the editing to people on Fiverr? Check. Include a sponsor in every video? Check. Accept deals from scammy sponsors that have questionable products they want to sell to his fans? Check. You could definitely make the argument that Jake is even more successful after he indulged in greed, but the same could not be said.
Well, probably because he made more money, right? But hey, listen. Gotta catch that bag, baby. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
So
for
the Mario
YouTuber
movie,
who
that's cool.
indulged in lust. Lust is thought of as unbridled sexual desire, often when one has to sacrifice something pure.
And it's definitely unbridled because he's gay. And that means there's 2 grooms. Oh, wait a minute. 2 grooms? You mean grooming? The multiple... I don't know. I wasn't even planned. It just kind of rolled. Damn, son. That's funny to me. To me, it doesn't matter if it's not funny to you. I don't respect any of you. But I'm just kidding. Okay.
Because of it. James Charles is the perfect candidate for the sin of lust. The beauty YouTuber who was on top of the world but allowed his empire to be destroyed
Typical
because
man,
of
am
his
I right?
desires. In late 2020, James was gaining an impressive average of nearly 150 million monthly views.
Same here.
But it wouldn't be long until his reputation was completely destroyed, beginning with James saying he was into straight men.
One boy who is
Whoa.
straight. Love that.
There's literally nothing wrong with being into straight men as a gay person. It's a little bizarre because they're not into you. But it sounds like he's into guys that maybe have like gay thoughts and he wants to like, you know, go with them as long as you're not. I know there's more stuff to it. We're going to get into it obviously as the video goes on, but like that fundamentally is not a problem. Like there's nothing wrong with that. It does, well, I mean, okay. I'm not going to say that there's nothing like horribly wrong with it. It's definitely weird. I don't think that he wants to sexually assault straight men. I think that he probably gets off the turning guys who say that they're straight, but it really isn't an issue. So.
For you, that's easy. It's easier than you would think.
After James was photographed at Coachella with a straight Instagram model named Gage Gomez, he would
his name is Gage. Of course, he's straight.
to the questions asking if this was his new boyfriend with the following tweet. Nope, unfortunately I'm still very single. This boy played me for months on end and is a disgusting con artist. I'm thankful I had my friends with me to protect me. After James tweeted, Gage would release a video.
I think he actually came out that he was like leading him on a bit. Like he was like kind of interested in the idea, but then he got cold feet. I think that was the basics of it, from what I remember. It wasn't this. What the fuck is happening? This is insane. It wasn't like it wasn't like this huge like horrible thing. Jesus Christ, Jesus fucking, this game is insane right now. What the hell? Just started the fucking round. Oh my god, getting hit with a bungle toad. Okay.
Alleging James was pressuring him into meeting up and beginning a physical relationship. But this drama would look like nothing in comparison to the events that would be the downfall of James Charles. It would all start when a Twitter user named Isaiah13 would make a tweet saying,
"If you're gonna text someone, make sure you know their age. He added me on Insta. My Insta has my TikTok, which shows my age."
Isaiah would then reveal on his TikTok James had been pressuring him to send explicit photos. It wouldn't be long until several other individuals would also come forward alleging they had a similar experience. James James has not had a single month of positive subscriber growth since the drama. But unlike James,
I think was he 21 at the time? Which is not good. It's not good. And I think the issue originally was that he wasn't checking age. So this is the problem. I think they're skipping past it. But originally, I think you talked to somebody, they didn't have a verifiable age. You never really asked. And then that was a problem. Then moving forward, he was like, I'll make sure I ask the ages. He didn't continue to ask ages, which is a problem. Then he ended up talking to like a 16-year-old. I think he was 21. I think he was 21. Maybe 22, but I think he's 21, which is inappropriate. It's legal in a lot of states. I wouldn't call him like a predator. I think that he's incredibly irresponsible, like a dumb little asshole. Yeah, and so yeah, it's not good. It's definitely not good. It's less than ideal behavior, guys. But the good thing about it, I know they were like, what good thing could there be about a guy? Just listen to me. His palate was half off at Morphe, and I was able to get a really good deal. So if you think about it, maybe, was it 15-year-olds? I'm pretty sure it was 16. That's still really irresponsible. Yeah, you're right. That's actually more gross, obviously. They're 15 now. Yucky. Are you sure they were 15? I feel like they were 16. No, that's worse. I could have swore it was like 16. Okay, anyway, I'm pretty sure that there were a ton of allegations that came out, and a lot of them happened to be fake. And that was one of the whole big things with like Def Noodles, was that like he was pushing false allegations. It could be that because it's been a while, so I'm not as educated as I should be on it, but I'm pretty sure it was like 16 and 21. But I could be wrong. So either way, I got the palette half off, so hey, fuck it.
James, the next YouTuber on this list, would explode in subscribers once his drama began. To envy is to have a longing arousal for someone else's belongings. Whoa. But to take it a step farther is to have an extreme desire to actually be someone else. This personifies White Boy M, a YouTuber who constructed his entire personality around that of a more popular YouTuber, iShowSpeed. Before M was trying to become Speed by emulating him, he would post interview style content, but pay attention to how his voice sounds.
How many years did Richard Nixon serve president?
Bro, I am not even about to lie to y'all boys right now, but I was on Omegle, and a guy actually showed, his his private part, bro.
The Speed imitation would begin when M would start off a live stream with the title, Live with iShowSpeed. The live stream would gain significantly more traction because of the clickbait title, signaling to M that Speed was his ticket to virality. Over the coming months, M would begin acting more and more like Speed.
Oh, yes, I apologize. They were both 16. He said he thought one was 18. Okay, gotcha. That's what I thought.
Talking completely differently than he used to. This would continue until a series of clips would completely blow up White Boy M's channel.
Really? I have 14 out of 15 bubbles, bro. Are you serious right now, bro?
But internet success from directly copying someone else is never sustainable in the long run, which is reflected by M's statistics. While White Boy M would be considered somewhat of a small YouTuber, the next YouTuber on this list is one of the biggest on the platform and is representing Pride. Pride is defined as dangerously corrupt selfishness, putting one's own desires, urges, wants, and whims before the welfare of others. If we take a look at the events that transpired in Logan Paul's YouTube career, Pride would be a perfect descriptor to summarize them, starting with his early Vine days, which could best be described as him acting like a public nuisance. Pride could certainly be seen in these type of videos because he was acting like an idiot, annoying the public for his own personal gain. But Logan Paul's prideful actions would only get worse from here on out. The major event we could point to would be when Logan filmed a vlog in a Japanese forest, which is colloquially called the forest. While filming his vlog, he was acting in his normal over-the-top kid.
Me personally, if I had a forest where people were constantly going to do their thing, I feel like I'd be like, we got to do something about this. Maybe we put a camera up, put a camera there. Maybe put a fence around it. Something. I don't know. Maybe put some weed in the forest, grow weed in there, so that instead of doing that, they'll toke up. We got modern problems, modern solutions. Am I right, guys? I'm just saying.
Friendly manner, but the worst part of the whole situation would be when he showed an actual dead body of a man who had deleted himself. After a huge apology tour, it would—
That's terrible, but was it a guy? Could you tell? Because some Asian people look a little bit ambiguous, so you never really know. So maybe it was a woman. We just don't know. Sorry, that was a little bit of an inappropriate joke. I'm sorry. Rest in peace, sir.
It appeared that Logan had reconstructed his reputation, but he would again put his own wants before the welfare of others a few years later. In early 2022, Logan would begin his foray into crypto. This journey would start with a few promotions of what are called pump and dump coins. These are coins designed to make their founders money without providing any value to the community that supported them. Logan would profit immensely from promoting these coins, but these promotions would pale in comparison to Logan's own project.
Didn't you do like multiple times? Like I feel like after the first time he scammed people and you decided to support him still, that's kind of like it's kind of your fault at that point. I'm not trying to be rude, but how many times, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Am I right? I'm just saying. Seems a little sussy to me.
CryptoZoo, a game which, similar to a pump and dump coin, was designed with a minimal amount of effort to earn as much money as possible for its founders.
Sounds
the
like
game
Papa
would be
Gut's channel.
broken and undeveloped, leaving a huge trail of victims who lost significant sums of money after believing in Logan's promises.
Damn.
While Logan Paul is big on YouTube, this YouTuber is also big, but in a different way, and is our
Well, he's also big on YouTube. Let's be real. He's Nicholas Ocado. Got to say Nicholas. All right, because I don't want to get canceled. He's also he's a pretty sizable YouTuber, and he weirdly lies about how much money he makes. He gets like hundreds of thousands of views of video, and he's like, I only make this much money. Bullshit. You're a liar. Shut the hell up. This guy's full of donkey turds.
candidate for gluttony. Gluttony is the overconsumption and overindulgence in something to the point of waste. The genre of YouTube videos known as mukbang would be the perfect candidate to represent gluttony, as the videos involve preparing an ungodly amount of food and then attempting to finish it. But when choosing a specific YouTuber to represent gluttony, it would have to be Nikocado Avocado. Nikocado Avocado, otherwise known as Nicholas Perry, would begin his YouTube channel in Colombia documenting his vegan life when he moved there with his then boyfriend. He would cover various things about his lifestyle, but his channel would only start gaining a decent amount of traction on his videos when he ate food in front of the camera, otherwise known as a mukbang. At first, these mukbangs would start out with a somewhat reasonable amount of vegan food and usually involve Nicholas finishing it. But about a year into his YouTube journey, Nicholas would make a video stating his frustrations with the vegan community and saying he would be departing from it. From this point forward, although his dishes
Which is a little bit weird because the reason that he stopped being vegan was because he was having health problems. It's interesting because Nick seems to struggle with eating in general, whether it's overeating, undereating, eating correctly. He was apparently getting poor nutrients from the vegan food because it's very difficult to sustain like a healthy vegan diet or a proper, like an ideal vegan diet. Let me be clear. It's not like, the average American diet of eating fatty sausage and refined sugar is exponentially worse than being vegan. But he seems to have like an issue with like maybe he has some kind of food sensitivity. I don't really know. But he just went from like under eating to overeating. It seems like, so not really very good. Not too good there, brother. Not too good. Yeah, some form of malnourishment. Gonna get that osteoporosis. You're gonna get those osteoporogies there. What are you doing? What are you doing? It's ridiculous.
were still very healthy, they would occasionally start containing meat in them. But being in the mukbang niche meant that to stay interesting and compete against the other YouTubers, Nicholas would have to up the portions and the visual intrigue of the food he was eating. The food Nikocado Avocado was eating began to become increasingly unhealthy, and the portions larger as time went on. With this gradual change, his weight would increase as well, transforming the once skinny vegan YouTuber into a morbidly obese person that uses a mobility scooter to get around.
Well, I don't think he needs to do that. I think I feel like this is more complicated than just that. I feel like Nick, he probably started doing the mukbangs, and then the food is just unhealthy and addictive, and that's probably what happened. I don't think he got big to do mukbangs. I think the mukbangs made him big,
Nikocado went from vegan to meat lover, and the next YouTuber would be very angry at him, which is perfect because she's our candidate for Wrath. Wrath is the most simple of the 7 deadly sins, and is pretty much thought of as excessive anger. Thinking about angry YouTubers,
I don't know, man. If I was gonna say angry YouTuber, I guess she's okay. She's not a bad one. She's a good. Well, to get her in the video, she's good like lolcow clickbait. But I feel like maybe I don't know. Hassan is a really good example. So he just gets really angry. Probably Destiny, and he says some wild shit. But I don't think that nobody gives a fuck about that fucking nerd. I like his content, but nah, he's not like lolcow clickbaity enough. He's not fun and lighthearted enough. It's not fun. That vegan teacher will try to reclaim the N-word, but then Destiny will go on and say that black streamers are crazy. I mean, now both of them are right. No, I'm just kidding. Just joking around a little bit. But I guess that vegan teachers probably is the best example. Yeah.
Images of raging gamers probably come to mind, but there's actually someone who's much more angry than them. Observing her outward appearances, she would probably be one of the last people you would think should fill this spot on the list. But the truth is, she's one of the most angry YouTubers of them all. That vegan teacher, otherwise known as Katie Dykmeyer, would create her channel on July 21st, 2018.
Her name is what? You can't say that word. That's fucking homophobic, dude. What the fuck? That's her last name. Change it right now. Right now. Change your last name right now. Holy Jesus.
But she wouldn't start uploading until the pandemic began in 2020. Her videos would start off very tame and would be what you would expect from a typical vegan activist. Although her videos would change forever once she made the discovery that the more outrageous she made her content, the more views she obtained. Even though these views would be comprised of people watching for the sole purpose of laughing at her, her views would go up nonetheless. At a certain point, she would devise a new strategy, combining outrageous content with calling out famous influencers. But if her goal is to actually convert—
Remember that one time she called out Papa Gut?
People to the vegan lifestyle and not just increase her own notoriety, it certainly isn't working. As her
It's so debatable because, like, yeah, of course, I don't think a lot of reasonable-minded people are looking at that vegan teacher going, you know what, I think I want to be vegan. But then at the same time, she is getting a lot more like signal boosted, and so it's like, I wonder how much of it is having a positive, or not a positive impact, but the impact of drawing people in. I wonder. I do.
Her image of the crazy vegan steers people away from considering it as a serious lifestyle. You could say a lot of things about that vegan teacher, but one thing you definitely can't say is that she's lazy and isn't always trying new strategies to get people to be vegan. However, in terms of work ethic, the same could not be said for the next YouTuber on this list and our candidate for Sloth.
I mean, he could have fit everything, though.
Sloth is the reluctance to work or make an effort, otherwise known as laziness. The best way we can apply this idea to the concept of YouTube is a failure to innovate and create new content, as we can pretty much examine every failed YouTube channel and see that 90% of the time, the chief cause of its downfall was lack of innovation. Boogie2988 is no exception to this rule and is a great candidate for the deadly sin of sloth. Boogie hasn't seen a month of positive subscriber growth in over 3 years, and the primary reason for this is the fact that his content never changes. A vast majority—
That's just explicitly incorrect. It's like he can drastically, when he dropped the character of Francis, that's when like a lot of his stuff went downhill. So listen, here's the thing. I think that like on the internet, we don't really have the right conversation about people. We think that because somebody got fewer views, that means like that they fell off because of them. That's not necessarily true. People get older, they get less identifiable, less relatable, et cetera, et cetera. You're always going to fall off. It is literally like eventually you will also die. I don't know if you know that. When it comes to Boogie, him falling off is like irrelevant, or him losing viewers is irrelevant. Who gives a shit? It's going to happen. What the problem is that like he got to a point where he was asking for money, and instead of making more content, he wasn't making more content, and he was begging for money instead of like actually doing something a little bit more. That's the bigger issue here than anything else. So yeah, that's the bigger problem here.
Majority of his videos are him sitting in his room talking about something or complaining.
Has he been on his game lately? Okay, good for him.
About his life. If you look at a video made 1 year ago, 2 years ago, even 3 years ago, there's no significant change in video quality, the pacing, or really anything at all. The truth is, YouTube is such a competitive game that if you aren't changing anything, people will eventually get bored and watch someone else who is putting in the effort to make their videos perpetually better. And unfortunately for now, Boogie is not making the choice to do that.
Okay, well, that's an interesting video.